Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Perrine and I am excited to share with you some good news. My new book, again, is just out from Airly Press. It just came into the world, and so I'm here to celebrate that with y'all. In part, I want to celebrate because this book took so long to come to fruition as an actual object in the world. I started writing it in early 2017. It was shortly after Donald Trump had been elected, and I was feeling pretty disillusioned and disoriented and angry and afraid and needed a channel for all of those emotions. And so for the first 100 days of his presidency, I wrote a poem a day based on words that he had misused or overused. And what I was trying to do, I think, was to remember what those words meant to me before I heard them in his mouth so much, and to also imagine what those words could mean again, and just to think about how much language influences how we think about the world. And so as I was doing this, largely as a therapeutic process to help me deal with this strange new time we were in, it evoked a lot of sort of my own emotional state at the time, and also it was a way for me to kind of record in a slightly surreal way, because it was a surreal time, still is, what I was observing in the people around me too, and how they were coping and handling the situation. And so over time, a couple of people were reading these poems or listening to them as I started writing them, and they said, this should be a book. And at first I had my doubts because in the past, all of my previous books have been largely like love poems, poems about family, poems about identity or relationships. And those are all still in this book, but they're also filtered through this lens of what it means to be American now and how language shapes the myth of America. And so it was really sort of out of my usual realm, but I took a chance on it. And I'm really grateful to Airly Press for also taking a chance on it, because it is so different from something I've done before. So I just wanted to say thank you, especially to all of the editors at Airly and to Beth Ford, who designed this amazing cover and the book itself. And I also wanted to thank Ingrid and Pauline and Keisha and Tracy, who wrote really kind things for the book. And beyond all of that, thinking back to the book's creation, I especially wanted to thank the Vermont Studio Center, who gave me a fellowship in February of 2017, so right in the thick of things. And that allowed me to focus and be among other writers and artists, which really was a balm to my spirits during that time. And I wanted to especially thank Sarah Coates, who was one of my fellow residents at the Vermont Studio Center, and she fed me words that she was hearing or seeing Trump use, and that generated a lot of the poems in this book. So I wanted to thank everybody there, and I also wanted to thank the folks at Portland General Electric, where I was working at the time when I wrote this. And especially Lucy and Sarah, who I worked for at the time, who both kind of went to bat for me. I think I'd been working there for like 2 months, and I said, hey, can I take a month off to go to Vermont to write a book? And they went to bat for me and said yes, and made sure that I had a job to come back to, which means so much. So I wanted to thank all of them, and I also wanted to thank you, especially if you're out there and you have read my work in the past or are planning on reading this book. Even if we've never met, the fact that you are out there means so much to me. So thank you, and I'm excited to celebrate this being in the world, and I hope you all stay safe and be well.